Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of the money world without making you feel like you need a finance degree. Today we've got a filing from Neonode Inc, and let's just say it involves some legal drama and a bit of financial news that might make you raise an eyebrow. Before we dive in, if you love getting the real story behind corporate announcements, make sure you're subscribed and join our Discord community, linked right down below. So what's the big news here? Well, it seems like we've got a company that's anticipating some money coming in from a patent lawsuit. It's not from Neonode directly, but from a subsidiary that Neonode assigned some patents to, and this subsidiary is involved in a legal battle with Samsung. This report tells us it's September 2025, and Neonode Inc. is the company we're looking at. They're a Delaware incorporated company with a commission file number of 135526. Their main executive office is actually in Stockholm, Sweden. Now, for the interesting stuff, companies often have their stock traded on major exchanges, and Neonode's common stock is listed on the Nasdaq Stock Market LLC under the ticker symbol EON. The main point of this filing is to share some news that came out on September 3rd, 2025. Neonode announced that a subsidiary of theirs called Neonode Smartphone LLC is expecting to get some money from a patent lawsuit. Now, this subsidiary isn't directly owned by Neonode anymore, as Neonode assigned these patents to a company called Accession Technologies LLC, which is described as an unrelated third party. This Accession company is suing Samsung electronics that Neonode used to own. This is a pretty common thing where companies develop intellectual property and then might license it or sell it off to specialized entities who can then pursue legal action if that property is misused. Accession company is suing Safety ad a symphony Neonode used to own. This is a pretty common thing where companies develop intellectual property and then might license it or sell it off to specialized entities who can then pursue legal action if that property is misused. Accession company is suing Samsung Electronics Inc. The details of this announcement are in a press release which is attached to this report as Exhibit 99.1. The company is being careful here though. They're saying this information is being furnished, not officially filed. This means they're sharing it to keep everyone informed, but they don't want it to be held against them in the same way as formally filed financial statements, which can carry more legal weight if they turn out to be inaccurate. It's a way to provide transparency without taking on certain liabilities. This section basically tells us what other documents are included with this report. The press release we just talked about is Exhibit 99.1. And then there's Exhibit 104, which is something called a cover page interactive data file. Essentially a way to make the report more accessible and searchable for computers. The report is signed by Fredrik Nicolin, who is the Chief Financial Officer of Neonode Inc. This is pretty standard practice for these types of filings, showing that the company's financial leadership has reviewed and approved the information being submitted. Now, while this filing doesn't contain detailed financial tables like profit and loss statements or balance sheets, it does give us a hint about the company's financial prospects through this patent lawsuit news. The key takeaway is that Neonode assigned these patents to a subsidiary, and that subsidiary is now expecting a financial windfall from a lawsuit. This means Neonode themselves might not be directly receiving the cash, but it's likely they have some agreement in place that benefits them, perhaps a share of the proceeds or a royalty. This lawsuit with Samsung is a pretty significant event, and the anticipated financial proceeds could be a major boost for Neonode. Looking at the broader picture, Neonode operates in a sector where intellectual property and patents are incredibly valuable. Companies like Samsung are giants in the tech world, and patent disputes can be both costly and lengthy. For Neonode to have patents that are considered valuable enough to warrant a lawsuit against a company of Samsung's caliber suggests they have some innovative technology. The success of this lawsuit could provide Neonode with much needed capital to invest in research and development, further product development, or even to strengthen their financial position. However, it's also important to remember that lawsuits are inherently uncertain. While they anticipate proceeds, there's no guarantee they'll get exactly what they expect or even anything at all if the legal outcome isn't favorable. We also don't know the exact amount they're expecting, which makes it hard to gauge the true financial impact. This is where we'd usually dig into specific numbers, but for this particular filing, it's more about the event itself and the implied future income. The fact that they've assigned these patents to a separate entity, an unrelated third party like Accession Technologies LLC, is an interesting strategic move. It could be a way to isolate the risk associated with patent enforcement or to partner with a specialist in that area. It also means the direct financial benefits to Neonode might be structured in a specific way, not just a simple cash injection. In terms of company direction and strategy, this signals a reliance on intellectual property as a source of value and revenue. It's a classic move for tech companies to monetize their innovations through various means, including patent licensing and litigation. The strength here lies in having potentially valuable IP. The weakness or risk, of course, is the dependency on legal outcomes and the potential for lengthy and expensive court battles. We'd need to see their other financial reports to understand their core business operations and financial health independently of this lawsuit, but this filing does provide a potentially positive event on the horizon. So to sum up, Neonode Inc. is in a position where a patent lawsuit initiated by a company that acquired some of their patents is expected to yield financial proceeds. This indicates strong underlying intellectual property, but also highlights the uncertainties that come with legal proceedings. It's a situation worth watching to see how it plays out financially for Neonode. Alright, that's our breakdown of this Neonode Inc. filing. What's your take on patent lawsuits as a revenue generator for tech companies? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more insights. And don't forget to join our Discord community to continue the conversation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Corporate Decoder.